get in, and that was without Echo Slam. So that was their fight to win, and they're unable to actually do so because they didn't have spells up, and now it's a Roche too that could potentially go down. Some big mistakes coming out from Yellow Submarine, and Nigma capitalizing. They're gonna have an Ags. Actually, the Ags is done on Weehaw.
Oh, and they're hunting for more. They might even find this Dark Willow. GH quite able to get the arrow out in time. Away for the pit. Roshan, it's going down not too quickly, so maybe an opportunity for Yellow Submarine to get over and do something about this. It's a half HP. Yellow Submarine, they've got to get over it quickly. They do back up. No Kronos for over 50 seconds. It's going to be all about the arena. Weehaw and GH doing their best to guard the area around the collapse. He's going to jump in. Cataclysm's out. They'll burst down the Marana. There's the Echo. Straight away, mind control. Johnson, he's found the 3-man. Is there the pull-up? There's the silence onto collapse. Hammett Pushkin, they're back in the way. The silence is work from his pulses. Haunting Notorious movements. He's now going to turn towards Mike, trying to find the deafening blood. They're pushing Miracle back. They've killed off the Shaker. Can they kill off this PL? Miracle straight over towards Meposhka. Can he finish him? Another doppelganger jump forward. Will allow to get the kill. Yatoro trying to stand his ground against Miracle, but there's too many illusions. Yatoro has to jump up over to the side. They can't clear these illusions out in time. The false promise is their far end, keeping Miracle more than safe as they take down Yatoro yet again. Over they go with the Yules into Remnant onto Collapse. They're just waiting whilst Miracle gets some heals up from RMN. They're looking at charging it onto Collapse. He's underneath tier 2s, but we are still ready to play in deep and aggressive as they kill off the Mars. Neo's hiding in the trees, but Weeha's found him, jumping over. It's a team white. Miracles get the triple kill. And at this stage, now 20 to 10, 6k lead. The last few events massively resulting in a huge win for Nigma. This is starting to look a little rough for Yellow Submarine. They're starting to fall apart.
Yeah, those big ultis, the cooldown's really starting to hurt them there. Nigma doesn't have to, like we said, they only really have to rely on Echo. They're still pretty strong without it. And Weehaw getting this Aghanim's timing at a pretty fast pace. They don't have anything to dispel it. It catches like 3 or 4 heroes with multi-hero silences. Back to back. The fight just becomes way too difficult for you to do anything. And now, this PL was already up to level 19 off of these last 8 minutes as an Aegis.
And again, Weehaw, he's got the catch. Onto the Willow, making some very nice moves with the game. As soon as he had that accident, as you said, Weeha's involvement in the fight has just been incredible. 6-1 and 9. An excellent Weehaw performance this match.
And look at how aggressive they're playing now because of this. Just it's constantly snowballing. As Meposhka's under 2 wards. And he's gonna get chain stun. The arrow's already, I think the arrow, is it released? Ready to use it before. I think it was before.
He's used it before, yeah. It's 5 seconds ago. I must have chucked it out somewhere.
Either way, very likely to die.
Yeah. Mind control's on top of him as the with the burst from RMN. I mean, Collapse has arena. Temptation for them to try and they do have Chrono. I mean, Mio and Yatoro are off to the side. If you're Yellow Submarine, do you try and fight this? Do you collapse him from the mid lane and the top lane and turn around on Nigma?
You did see Miracle bottom. I think there's a chance they might actually just full commit into this fight. I think they might have to, yeah. Might be a pretty decent opportunity for them if they're able to catch these heroes. Real bad in this game, because like we said, they're far away from any items to be able to deal with the silence coming out from like the BKB. The Void's gone for the Aghanims. He's got the point booster, so they need a big sequence of events to get these next items finished up. Those BKBs are crucial.
They've got to they've got to go in for this.
Yep, I think they have to too.
You don't let this pass. I mean, Meposhka should die. He's not going to die. You know, take them to kill him and a bit of commitment from the 4 of them.
They're talking about a lot right now. You see these pings coming out. RMN, he doesn't have false promise, so he's probably telling them like, I've got to be a little cautious, guys. I do have a blink dagger, but
good guy GH there. You know, making it clear to the admins that he wants out of their pause time as Yellow Submarine are ready to go, but looks like Nigma just need a few more moments before we're ready to resume. Oh yeah, I mean the thing that's going to make the biggest difference in this fight is if they do try and take it is 2 seconds away. Weeha's got an Astral Step. If he's able to step in and catch like the Faceless Void and the Invoker with the Pulse, the Silence, then suddenly this becomes a whole other issue for them to try and tackle. Jump. Arena is down. Weeha, hold on to Weeha. Weeha needs help. He needs it now. He's not going to be able to get it. As RMN RMN didn't have false promise back up for 20 more seconds. GH left behind as well. The time dilation slow, allowing the Torah to come down. They've got the cold snap control. It's there. Expected. They had to go for that. They did. They get 3 kills out of it. And the big ones too. Both Mind Control and Weehaw getting caught by that. Collapse with an excellent jump in with the arena. That was always going to be a fight that Yellow Submarine were going to take.
Yeah. Miracle shows bottom for a second. They're like, yeah, let's go. And Pushka even lives. Again, D ward. There's still one ward pretty deep over there, but some signs of life for sure. As now it gives them a little bit of breathing room to be able to finish up like at BKB in particular. On the Invoker.
Yeah, for Yatoro as well. I mean, of course, he's going to finish off the Aghanims first, but he really does need both. You know, before he gets the Aghanims and the BKB, he's waiting for the silence and the mana drain of the PL and his diffusal. The fights seem very, very difficult for Yatoro. So as long as they can buy time for that to come out on the Void, they are, as you say, just still going to have, despite being down overall in that way.
Yeah, still a massive concern of how big Miracle is, though. He's gonna have Abyssal pretty much done. He's jumped from heroes to heroes. Sure, might have a BKB, but now there's actually a thing that can address that BKB on FPL too.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That last fight, Yatoro not having to use the Chrono, so.
Yeah, sure.
You know, it's not easy for the Void to get in and find the Chronospheres, but you know, if it's like Collapse jumping in and starting things as the Mars, the chances are there's going to be room for the Void to get his way in and find a Chrono opportunity.
Yeah, they still have Chaos starters for sure, for him to try to find a good opportunity for it. And Ags is finished. Ag level 20 is about to be done. So if that constant time walk.
Oh, and the Mind Breaker is always a nice one. Nice bit of extra damage for the Void.
And that, I mean, it also applies a silence and a bash on your jump, right?
Yeah. Only on the one target.
Only on the one, of course, yes. I could definitely
I imagine a little look with the RNG is I don't think it would prioritize heroes. I think it just goes for whatever it hits.
Yeah. Still strong though.
No, actually, it would prioritize heroes because it doesn't even proc on non-heroes, right? So it would actually take the and creep wave. Yeah. No, that's super nice.
Definitely
super
strong.
Nice.
The push cup. He'll get caught going on a warding expedition.
We'll see how much Nigma can get from this, because as I say, I definitely feel that they're going to be a little worried about Yatoro when he has the BKB. When he's got the BKB down on top of the Aghanims, they know that it's going to be pretty easy for Yatoro to find whoever he wants to drop in the Chrono. And when he does find it, chances are kill. Of course, they do have to save from the false promise. That's going to be very important against this sort of whole Chrono Cataclysm. But the fact that he's not the only one jumping in, it's also collapsed. There's going to be multiple ways to find RMN. So RMN's positioning is going to be incredibly important. And with the blink and the telescope, he's definitely got ways to play smart.
Now he's going to really needs to just stay super far back, almost level 15 too for cast range, so he shouldn't get caught in the Chrono. But it is a very devastating Chrono if they can catch multiple heroes. This Cataclysm, it's a mass exort now, so
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They will vanish very quickly if they do get hit by it.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Aegis for about 30 more seconds here on Miracle. Nigma trying to press this forward here. Nope. Oh, collapse.
Oh, it's been. Oh, they've not found it. The Remnant didn't get him. Oh, nice position. A TP out there as Weehaw tries to get the read, but not quite able to find him. Collapse able to get away with his life intact.
Very cheeky. The one ward that they do have down on bottom, it spots Miracle. And they will see Weehaw up top, so they might make a move on Weehaw because they saw Miracle. Can't quite get him though. The rest of the team collapses.
Yeah, a little too slippery. Very hard to land the combo on him unless they sort of have me around to open things up with the cold snap.
And that's the Aegis. Reclaimed. But he was able to finish out the Abyssal and an Eagle Song if he chooses to buy it.
Yeah, he's still
huge.
Incredibly big.
Yep.
Do you sort of like because I sort of wonder, you look at this game, why is it the Miracle wants to go for the like rather than something like a Skadi or a Satanic or a Heart that's going to give him a bit more protection against the burst?
It's just such a good item on PL. It really is. Just it made these illusions. He's getting out. He actually jumps into them.
A collapse. He's found RMN. He's been able to get the Oracle on the backlines. They actually have the damage for Miracle though. They're trying their best to beat him down. There's the pushback. Is Disarmed as well, trying to escape. Jump ball from Yatoro. It's not quite enough, but now with the Cataclysm coming down, it's chaos all around. As we are beard back, taking out the bashes there onto Miracle. Miracle still trying to run away. So bad for Poshka on the chase. RMN will root back for Poshka for now. They've managed to keep Miracle alive. There'll be a buyback from Weeha. Yatoro jumps up towards GH, but GH is able to leap out. Uncontrolled, committing the echo just onto the Invoker. Is it enough lockdown to find Yatoro? He's back in. He's onto the PL. Doppelganger out in time again. Miracle's still alive. Taps over against the bash and Poshka. Poshka, he's able to live. The heals are out, but Poshka will survive. They're still chasing. Collapse. He's in. Tries to find Miracle, but set upstairs to allow the Void to jump over. Miracle still on the run. Back over the wall, but Poshka goes another route. Holds back Yatoro. Miracle still off the side. Yatoro's in. Mind control comes with the entire locks down Yatoro for now. Miracle still on the run. One more time. Will might just do it. Yatoro's in. Over towards Miracle. Finds the bashes, but again the evasion. He's away. He's able to turn with the Spirit Lance. Yatoro's in once more. Has he got the damage? He has. Finally, Yatoro able to finish off the PL. The impetus, bringing mind control low. Yatoro's got follow-up, jumps over with the time walk, claims the double kill. We not done yet. They've got the detection out onto GH. GH up to the high ground. He's trying to run. Another jump forward. Yatoro gets the triple. Oh, things happening here for Yellow Submarine. Triple kill for the Yatoro. Faceless Void.
A 90-second fight of him just time walking over and over again. And the real important thing is that was pre-BKB on Yatoro, and he's able to just constantly jump back and forth around.
I think that was the most surprising thing there. That, as you say, without the BKB, he had that much space to move around as he did.
That was just, like you said, I think it's really up to that initiation. That first jump, sure, they don't kill that PL, but they cause so much chaos, catching RMN in the back and just making mind control get this Echo Slam that's not the most ideal, and just forcing buybacks and everything. That was, I mean, that was huge for them. They're like, now Void level 24 off of that with a full BKB.
And you know, we saw what he did last game. Very confident on this hero. You saw it. And again, as the itemization, the perfect way to go. I mean, we did see, you know, it did take a lot of hits. You know, Miracle's still very tanky. Long time to bring down. But once he has now the MKB done over this BKB and Aghanims, he's going to have no problem shredding the heroes of Nigma. It's going to be very scary for them. And they're going to go straight in away again for another hit. Chrono, as soon as it's back up, Yellow Submarine, they're ready to go for the hunt.
Oh, this might catch them off guard here. RMN is sitting on the trees still at the moment. GH will be spotted. They saw him for a second.
So what Collapse wants to jump.
Oh, but they saw
holding off on it for now.
Yeah. And yeah, this MKB, it's such a natural build-up too for the Void. So, you know, the question that you were asking before is this PL, you know, going for that butterfly in the end for Miracle might end up hurting, because he's not spending on something just to make him a bit tankier and harder to kill, actually, versus that Void, which is the problem.
Yeah,
that's the hero that's chasing him.
No, for sure. Yeah, the butterfly is just not. It's not going to help him if he's chronoed and gets caught by the punches of the Void and the damage output for the Cataclysm. He absolutely has to have RMN by his side. But as we saw that last fight, Collapse doing a great job of just having a read on RMN's position and making sure that RMN just isn't able to get to the front lines to help at the start of the fight.
Ooh, the Moonlight. A couple heroes on the high ground here. So bad is playing on low ground.
It is a little careful though for Nigma. They've got to think about the chrono. They have to think about the arena. The ults are up for Nigma, for Yellow Submarine. I mean, Nigma as well do have their Echo Slam good to go.
Second smoke. It's so scary though, because you can't have two heroes standing next to each other. Otherwise, they're gonna get Cataclysm and you're gonna lose the fight immediately having no heroes. As the jump forward in.
They're gonna look to jump mind control to start things off. Looking for the shaker mind control. Force the side. He gets the fish off, but the BKB is already there. They've had to use the false promise to save mind control, meaning that Ironman's left vulnerable. The Oracle's lost his life. Collapse doesn't find the spear onto mind control. Mind control able to blink out with that last bit of false promise, but they're chasing. They're gonna chase this for sure. They know there's no Oracle. They have the Chronosphere, still good to drop as well as the arena. Nigma's got to get out of it. They cannot afford to take a fight without RMN being alive to provide that safety for Miracle.
Mind control very lucky that he actually survives too. I believe that the Void did a Mask of Madness, so he couldn't actually use anything else at the pop BKB trying to cheat, but yeah, doesn't get the connection. And a decent disengage for Nigma, which looked like it could have been a disaster with the way that start. Level 25 now on the Void, so Backtrack is online, harder to bring down, and he's gonna have MKB at the same time pretty much as that Butterfly is coming out. So they're in a very strong window here, and it's still like, you know, it's still very difficult to play versus such heavy amount of team fights. It's just, if anyone gets caught, if more than one hero gets caught in Chrono, you probably just lose the fight. Scary.
Especially now you're 25, having that 20% backtrack. Gonna feel almost invincible. We've got the level 20 soon as well on Mia. I mean, in this sort of game, do you take the alacrity buff at 20 to help your Void, or is the tornado cooldown preferable?
I mean, it's in the eyes of the beholder, really, how you're feeling that the game goes on. Usually the chase is more prioritized, and like the cast range on the alacrity is already not the greatest, so usually it's, you know, usually I like seeing the tornado, but yeah.
I guess sort of having higher up time on the tornadoes is it's also just going to be something else that RMN has to be careful that he doesn't step into. That tornado can absolutely sort of take him out of action long enough to give space to kill off whoever RMN's trying to get in range of to save.
Yeah, always just feels like it does a little bit more rather than just like a single target buff.
And looking at Nigma's lineup, I mean, we've sort of been talking mainly about what Miracle's able to do. I mean, the other two cores, Mind Control and Weeha, I mean, as these sort of heroes, the Shaker and the Void Spirit, is there any sort of real big power spike you sort of for these heroes coming soon? I mean, I guess the biggest one being like the 25 inevitably from Weeha, but anything item-wise that's going to change much?
No, I think it's just like these Euls, Aeon Discs, etc. Things to just protect you from either getting chronoed or protect you during it. It's kind of just tough for them.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Weeha's already pretty much at his like highest point until, like you said, that 25 comes online. Mind Control, his job is just his spells for the most part, so.
Oh, we got Moonlight once more from
So Warded Sentry on the high ground though. So they do see GH, they see Weeha, they see Miracle.
Roshan up, of course. A lost fight will mean conceding Roshan to the enemy team, almost certainly. And that fight around the Roche pit, I mean, sure, Nigma's got an Echo Slam, but that's kind of it for the team fight. Yeah. Again, just a draft where Yellow Submarine have this incredible amount of power when it comes to fighting in an enclosed area.
Yeah, so many different ways to trip everybody up or control them. Miracle is in a risky spot too, because no buyback available for him because he committed the gold. The same thing goes for Yatoro. He's actually going to be going back and setting up. He's picking up his MKB.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're super strong if they can catch one or two heroes in a chrono.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Weeha's jumping out. They're jumping in as soon as Weeha goes.
Straight away, Armin aim range for the false promise, but Armin dies to the Dark Willow.
Miracle's so dead.
He absolutely is. This amount of damage is not going to be offset whatsoever by any amount of healing. Just quick moves. Quick moves from Yellow Submarine.
He spent his gold, so 90 seconds, no PL. They catch Armin in the back too, and it's a Roche.
I mean, yeah, maybe because the chrono was used, if he had buyback, he could have come in and maybe got to the pit. Not going to happen at all, as you say. He's out of the game. This Roshan is theirs. And if they realize this, I mean, they're almost certainly going to push on for a tier 2. They might even try and shove the lane up for more. They're that far ahead, and with the damage that this Void does, they push pretty quickly.
Yeah, and they have the Forge Spirit's bottom addressing the double catapult wave too, so they don't have to go help it.
It's in a great position. They could just mid lane, just go straight up to the high ground. 50 seconds, no PL.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, and bottom is pushed out now from those double forge, so yeah, on to high ground.
And let's see what sort of a defense Nigma can pull together. Carry. Of course, they don't know that the PL doesn't have buyback. We'll see how much they want to try and push it. With the Aegis and the BKB, they're going to be feeling pretty confident, Yellow Submarine. Connection onto Yatoro. 20 seconds to the PL. Collapse trying to jump in for the combo. Does he get the remnant pull back onto Yatoro? Down a little low. Still not enough to truly scare him. Now he'll start to back away with the PL coming back into play in 10 seconds. We'll relax a bit.
I'd be pretty happy that if I was on the side of Nigma, though, holding the racks when you didn't have PL buyback, you don't have great wave clear either. Well, with the Void Spirit you do, but he has to kind of come forward. It's a little bit scary. It's a great hold. And what? That's the Echo Saber now finished onto Yatoro.
What's going on? They step straight into the trap. A sweep across for the top lane allows them to find the terrorized setup onto the two of them. They will manage to kill the Oracle. We are able to jump away just in time, gets away from the follow-up. They're still going to continue to fight this though. Yatoro, she's straight over onto GH. The Yules will slow it down. Collapse tries to find the spear, but the rest of Nigma are out of there. Yeah, nearly losing Weehar as well there. Just very, very fast plays coming out from Yellow Submarine as they are really taking the lead now. 21-24, 4K lead. And this just late game team fight combo and potential from Yellow Submarine. It just seems like Nigma are struggling to match it. A lot of pressure on Miracle to just not get caught in it, to actually get a chance to hit heroes. If they blow up this PL in the fights, it pretty much seems like it's a guaranteed team fight win anytime. If Miracle dies, the team fight seems pretty over.
They know that they only need to itemize for PL, really. Like, look at the way that their items are, right? Like Invoker now, Shiva's, they need just to deal with him because they know Weeha's going to be able to, he's going to fall off real hard as he already has throughout the majority of this game. So it's now, I was saying it's such a dream PL game, but because they've been able to get all this itemization, I think it looks pretty damn good for Yellow Submarine going forward in this one.
Radiant are scanning.
Toro, very close to having the full Silver's Edge.
My God.
Again, it's just been an excellent game from the Void. Bottom lane, GH.
Middle tower is under attack.
With the moonlight.
Does catch him, and they have sentries.
They do have
and
that
it does.
And the dust. Maposhka, he's able to slide in and get in range. GH off to the side. Now drop a meatball down. GH way before anything can catch him. Bottom wave, getting it over towards the final tier 2 that does stand for Nigma. Miracle's in the mid, he's got it. It's a Miracle. Man's going to be able to get over time with the Fox Promise, but again, the issue is, struck by some time, but he's still going to take so much damage, he has to go back to the base. He's going to get two. And the combinations here, they're excellent from the Yellow Submarine. Locking him down, he'll get the chance to double, but he's so low. The Tornado and the Blast finishes him off. Weehar's able to jump out with the just saving his life. But they're in. They were able to push Iron Man out of the base with the spear. I mean, they're just on fire this series. Phenomenal plays here from the squad. As they couldn't be doing this any better. The execution is top tier.
Yeah, they're playing this. I mean, they're playing perfect throughout this series. The support's always tanking the deaths. Great spell usage every single time the team fights. And yeah, look at this. 2 sets of racks, very likely to go down here.
Maposhka is fully committing for this, but he's been caught by his straight collapse. He's dead. He's got buyback. I mean, they're now down 13k. Set of racks. They're in the mid lane. Collapse. They clean up the range tracks. They're onto it. They still 40 seconds. No Miracle PL. He's 200 gold short of buyback. Collapse. He's in the arena. He's caught the 2 of them. The arrow there getting connected on the GH. GH is locked down. He's out of the game for a minute. It just doesn't stop any chance that Yellow Submarine see to jump in and get a kill. They are taking it right now.
And the damage is really done because it's just PL versus the world. And like I said before, they're just gonna chrono him every single time, and there's not much they can do to save. Armen's save, it's just not a save anymore. This one is feeling pretty dusted. Yellow Submarine.
No, that's definitely showing that these guys are a team to watch out for. And just again, some sort of new names entering the field that people may not have heard of before.
Only a week of playing together too, right? So
exactly, yeah. If you missed the interview earlier, that's what Maposhka said. He said they've only been playing together a week. He was asked about sort of his teammates. He was like, I don't even know them. They've been playing together that short.
They're trying to jump out.
They're trying to burst his face forward with the Echo combo. He's not getting that far at all. Yatoro's able to get the BKB on turn.
He's just hiding.
He's out of mana. He's fully committing. The false promise will keep Miracle alive. But Yatoro, he's doing a lot of damage. Juicy getting the arena. It catches the tree. The Cataclysm goes crashing down. It's a dead mind control. It's going to be a dead Miracle too. Both cores out of the game. No buyback. They're chasing Nigma back towards the base. And it's just down to the last 3 of them. with no buyback on Mind Control, no buyback on Miracle, as just yet again, perfect play from Yellow Submarine.
And they have Chrono, so even when PL does come back. This has been flawless execution really by them. And it's going for this last set of racks. Whole team rallied together.
Oh, GH, he just jumped in and turned into a frog.
Wow. I did not expect this when I was hearing the interview about that. Them like just playing together for this 1 week.
They just played together a week. I mean,
wow.
This is amazing. Absolutely amazing game from Yellow Submarine. GG is called. I'll take the game, they'll take the series. Of this game too, we had, of course, GH returning to the fray. Was, of course, stood in for by Submarine in game 1. It didn't matter. Even with the change up, the return to obviously still lacking.